Hello friends, family, and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a match from GSL Season 2 Group A, Creator versus Cure. I have a beautiful little game picked out here for y'all, as GSL Season 2 has started again. Feels like StarCraft has been on steroids in the past few weeks. I feel like we hadn't had any major tournaments for a long time, and then all of a sudden GSL Season 2, DreamHack Dallas, GSL Season 1 was in there as well. I'm going to be going to the Bulgarian tournament in Stara Zagora as well. So we have a lot of high-level StarCraft, lots of offline stuff going on. While we had nothing in the first 4 months of the year, now all of a sudden it's... there's a lot. There's a lot happening. Absolutely true. As Creator versus Cure, as mentioned, from the GSL. Excited to watch this. I've been struggling catching any of the GSL stuff live, to be honest. I used to be a big watcher of the GSL, but ever since they moved away from Twitch and YouTube, and you have to watch on the Korean streaming service SOOP, previously known as Afrika.tv, I haven't really been catching it live because I don't really browse these websites ever. I just forget that it's there, to be honest, most of the time, and then I get an email from my Patreon to see that the GSL replays have been released. I'm like, oh, wait a second. That is something that happened? Right. I guess it did. So here we are. PvT, Protoss versus Terran. And we have actually Creator opening up with... I almost want to call this old school at this point. Like the amount of innovation we've seen in PvT, especially from the Protoss side of things, over the past few weeks... post energy recharge introduction has honestly been phenomenal. We've just seen a lot of improvements here in the early game for TOS, kind of moving away from the adept early game into higher stalkers, more sentries as well, but that doesn't seem to be what Creator is going for. Creator here is going for that adept Twilight Council, a very, like I said, an old school way of playing, like 2-3 months old. There's still a couple of players that do it almost every single game. Someone like MaxPax loves playing this particular style, but a lot of, especially the Korean Protoss players, they prefer getting a quicker sentry early on. They prefer getting a higher stalker count rather than opening up with these adepts, which very frequently don't really achieve anything anyway. So Creator here, taking us back pretty much is what I'm trying to tell you. We have a neat little bit of SimCity here in the main base for Cure, who's going to be opening up with a single mine drop. Follow this up with a quick tank. I wonder... I mean, this is going to be a tech lab over here, right? Like that is an absolute given. Tech lab, maybe a barracks right next to it already. Beautiful stuff. And then Raven or Banshee. Majority of the time we do see a Raven over here. So this Hellion is going to snipe that probe. That means no scouting on the right side of things. Battery in the natural. No battery in the main. Triple Stalker is active in the main base right now. But we don't have anything here quite yet. So this is most likely just going to be a defensive 3-gate robo. As I say that, the Prism starts. Okay, that is very late for a Prism. Single mine here is not actually going to fly in. Did not dare boosting in and going for it. And perhaps the correct call. Hard to say at times. Interesting build out of Creator, because this Prism is hitting quite late. Usually we see these types of Prisms hitting at like 5 minutes across the map, or like 4:55. This one is finishing at 4:50. So the initial push out is just going to be a little bit delayed. But it might still come with a decent stalker count, and do feel like Cure is kind of ready for this. Second bunker on the way as well on the low. eBay is coming in. We have double tank setup in the main base, and it's just going to remain a double tank setup. Very frequently against 3-gate blink we see the third tank and then a swap of the tech lab, but Cure here says no, actually I want 2 tanks. So yeah, the standard setup is 2 tanks in the main base, 1 tank on the low ground together with the double bunker, and then both of the bases are pretty much like set up. They're solid. Majority of the time, that's kind of what we're looking at. Yeah, Creator can't really blink in here, that's for certain. Could try to maybe harass a little bit behind all of this. Look at the range here on that tank. We can see the little dotted line. There's definitely some space for stalkers to drop. A move that someone like MaxPax loves doing, by the way, is blinking past the bunkers and clearing some SCVs down here while he's being active in the main base as well. So we're gonna see the change of location here for this tank, bit of repair as well, and yep, this is absolutely safe here for Cure. No extra stalkers, by the way, being warped in. Instead, we're going for a fast storm rush behind this, delay on the charge, and double Templar already coming out. Where's the Raven? I think the Raven was here defensively somewhere now. Oh yeah, Raven is still here defensively. Storm starts. All of this pre-charge, by the way, which is interesting. Command centers being thrown down here for Cure as well. Was playing a very standard opener. Like, Barracks Gas into Reaper. Ooh, okay, this seems terrible. And it's cute, but absolutely terrible. And cute things can be terrible, and that was terrible. That made no sense. Actually quite risky as well, like flying in with the medevac just to drop a 2 HP Hellion. Like, you could lose your medevac for that, and that's a waste. It's absolutely a waste. Get a bit of a scan over here. I'm not sure if he saw the Templar. I'm not sure if that scan saw the Templar. It's hard to say. It hasn't seen the Templar. No, he has seen the Templar. That's okay, so he knows there's going to be Storm most likely. Storm is one of these things that has also kind of made a comeback in the matchup with the help of energy recharge. These Templar have been way more useful. Way more useful. So we're moving up to, for now, only 4 gateways, 5 gateways, 6th gateway on the way. We have Immortal production. So this is another one. It's like there's a lot of weird little innovations, a little like creative moves that Protoss players have been doing. And I was watching Hero do this a crap ton as well in Classic, where they stay initially on a much lower gateway count, 5, 6, I've seen 4 even, and they're just pumping units from those gateways. So before, a lot of Protoss players, they would just consistently be adding in gateways, like they probe up, build gateways, and then they get their units out. So a bit more Zerg-like, but a lot of the Korean tosses, they've been loving this like continuous warp-in stuff, and then eventually adding in more gateways later on, but really focusing on unit production and Immortal chrono boosting as well, particularly with Storm openers. I've been seeing this, so a bit of a different approach, but a cool approach nonetheless, as Cure is well set up defensively. It's adding in a lot of Vikings here, which is kind of weird. I think the focus probably should be more on Ghost pre-push, if anything. He's going to push at a very late timing with a low factory unit count. Like, what do we have? We have 2 tanks, 3 mines. If this was like 6, 8 mines, I would like it. But with just 2 mines, 3 mines, not as big a fan. Really not as big a fan. He also doesn't have Ghost, and he was aware of the fact that this was a Templar archive. So he is going to be capable of cancelling this fort base, but I'm not a huge fan of this push. This feels a little bit risky to me. This really does feel a little bit risky, as the fort base will be taken here on the top side right now, I can only imagine. Ghost Academy on the way out. Yeah, I feel like Cure, despite scouting that Templar archives, he didn't really see it. You know, his unit saw it, but I don't think he actually noticed it. This mine is going to get cleared. Good stuff. It's going to send a Zealot towards the right just for a bit of spotting. You have an Observer that's checking that left side. Get a preemptive stim here. I was afraid of a Zealot run by, but the Zealot run by never happened. A couple more Vikings on the way. Is the first 3 ghosts now coming out. I think Cure's is going to set up for another maxed out push, and this has been the Cure's bread and butter, really. He's been playing this so freaking much. Just these maxed out pushes with 1-1, 3 to 5 ghosts, 6 to 8 Vikings in the mix, and then just go. And it is very kind of like a catch-all response, right? It just does well against almost everything. So yeah, he's getting that armory, most likely a second eBay behind it as well, yeah. And then he starts 2-2 and a 4 CC as he moves out. That has been the Cure standard for a little while. A very different style from some of the other Terran players that we have seen. Way less aggressive. Kind of passive with just big push-outs every now and again. That's what he's been doing. Thermal Lens now on the way out. So that's about 40% done. We have a second robotics facility coming in as well. As look at this vision here. Look at this vision. 5 Zealots, Observer, Zealot, Stalkers in the front. We have some random Zealot Immortal over here. This is a good army, by the way. Prism's gonna make its way over towards the west over here, this side of the map. Then go into the natural, maybe drop into the main base. I think this timing is actually gonna work out fairly well, because yeah, this is where Cure wants to be hitting. Cure wants to be attacking right about now, or at least that's what I've seen him do majority of the time. So far, he ain't actually moving out quite yet. Okay, here we go. This is the 8 ghosts already. That's a lot of ghosts, huh? That is a lot of ghosts. Wait, where did the Prism go? Did the Prism die? Okay, here it goes. Prism flies in. We have a couple of Marines and 2 ghosts at home as well, so Cure's already prepared for that. It's gonna clear that Prism. He's still F2A moving back home though, so that is not great. Double tank at home also definitely helping out. 5 SCVs have fallen, as this is probably going to be an easy cleanup over here, if you ask me. No bunker at the third base. Does make it harder to deal with this type of stuff. We have a Zealot punching this CC as well. Cure, I think, for no real reason, is just delaying his own attack right now. He's delaying his timing. He should have hit about a minute and a half ago with this max out, but instead he's going to be hitting right now. Like, his 2-2 is halfway done. It's kind of awkward because the army for Creator has significantly improved. A lot of forces everywhere. Pre-split is good, except there's no army going towards the top side, so actually it ain't that good at all. Like, it is theoretically good, but Creator does really need to pull this army somewhere, as Zealots are now starting to hit this fort base. Planetary is about to be done in a couple of seconds. As one Marauder goes down, a couple of SCVs are going to fall as well. You get a blink in forward, as well as an EMP or two. Fleet Beacon starts here for Creator. And 2-2 is about to finish up for Cure as well. Ship weapons level 1 about to be done too, so upgrades are looking stellar. We have 2 Colossi against 9 Vikings, 3 Templar against 8 Ghost, and 4 Disruptors. I think these Disruptors are going to need to carry this game quite hard. So that Purification Nova actually ends up missing, and the Disruptor ends up going down as well. Immortal, of course, pack a punch too, as 2 Disruptors here managed to deal some damage. I didn't quite see it happen. Neither did Cure, apparently, as he lost a decent chunk of his forces. I think a couple of Ghosts actually went down there, yeah. Zealots once again trying to target down some of them SCVs. We don't have a 5th base done yet, but we do have a 5th base on the way, and even a 6th base already on the way too. So I am loving this. We have what the hell is this? Fusion core, as well as carriers coming in right now. That's rare to see. Such a fast rush into carriers, +1 air on the way too. That is very interesting here. This is something that someone like, what's he called, Classic used to do a little while ago. Is he would tech into those Templar, he would love those Templar, and then tech into carriers ASAP from there on out. 4 base carrier, that used to be his play. Used to be his jam. Let's see if it's still going to be his, see if it's also going to be Creator's jam here. He adds in a Mothership. It's really rare to see Motherships against Terran. It's not common at all. It really ain't common at all. And one of the issues that I always have with carrier transitions is just that lack of upgrade, right? He's going to be fighting with +1 carriers against +3 armor Marine Marauder Ghost. Like, that sucks. That super blows. You're also down a ship weapon upgrade compared to the Viking player. We have a 3rd starport now on the way. Has he scouted? No, he hasn't scouted this whatsoever. I think Cure just knows though. He's probably played against Creator plenty of times. Like, the way that he's playing makes me believe that this game has happened before between these players. Like, this exact type of scenario. This is not a first time, because both of these players are just very passive. So I guess they often get into late games here. Which is interesting. Most of the time when you have 2 guys that are very keen of the late game, one of them is better at it, right? That is just a given fact. So majority of the time you'll have one person trying to end the game a little bit earlier. Because why would you want to play a late game scenario if you know you're worse in the late game, in like an even type of game? And I'm curious to see who is actually going to be better. As Advanced Ballistics is about to finish up, Ship Weapons level 2 is about to finish up. We have a lot of upgrades coming in. We have the Blink, we have the shields, we have the Observer Speed coming in as well. And a Marauder run by hitting this base. This is a very chaotic game, honestly. Lots of movement on the map, but not a whole lot of fighting. At least not big fights. We're gonna get a feedback into, well, nothing else. Mothership does need to be pretty freaking careful right now. Once again, like these weird army splits out of Creator. It's really quite funky. It's really quite funky. Caduceus Reactor, DT's being warped in, and more carriers now moving out as well. We're going to go up to 6 carriers total. Do we have any storms available? The answer is going to be no. Actually, we don't really have any storms available. This base is going to end up dying. We have a DT that's going to run in. I mean, that's not going to be capable of achieving really anything. A couple of zoning storms here. Do we have some more disruptor shots? No, we don't. The storm, zoning storm. That's good. That's real nice, actually. Mothership in the back. This army is going to show up. And the carrier's now moving in as well. That's 5 carriers over here. There should be plenty to deal with this force, to be honest. We don't have that many Vikings. We only have 9. And we have 5 carriers. 5 carriers in the Mothership. Let's take it from here. See if we can take it from here. Quite overstimped as well, this army. Big Time Warp is going to connect with his entire force. Vikings still stuck in a trap. Caught in a trap. Big Storm going to connect. Archon also dealing a lot of damage. And 5 Vikings fall instantly. There are still 3 starports that can pump out reactored Vikings. But this was a very poor start of the fight here for Cure, who seemingly I thought he knew what he was fighting against, but apparently he had no clue. Because he got real surprised by them carriers. And he saw the mothership with a couple of scans already as well. Just didn't add any more Vikings. That is a surprise. Still is unaware of like the production that's happening over here. We have 3 Stargates. It's gonna get pushed back for now. 6 SCVs went down. Not a very high orbital count. Like against this type of stuff, if you have 8, 9, 10 orbitals, oh, that's phenomenal. Because you can get a much bigger army. Vikings in the sky doing God's work, to be honest. 10 more SCVs going down, or I guess 5 more, because 5 already fell earlier. Planetary does stay alive though, and this is base number... We're at 6 right now. That's a decent base count, actually. That is a very decent base count. Ship weapons level 3 is about to finish up as well. The Vikings are just moving in forward. Are going to catch a storm straight into the face. Carrier count is up to 6, and here goes the planetary, I think. Yep, there we go. Planetary is going to get taken out. Creator's going to continue pushing in as well. Don't have any storms behind all of this. We're going to get a Stalker warp in, but 73 workers against 55. Oh. 8 Vikings out already, 6 more on the way. It's going to bring the total to 14. 2 more Disruptors coming in too. And the carrier count should be at around 8. Yeah, there we go. 8 carriers. Mothership has died. Let's see what we can do. I mean, we have this Prism flying around. This Viking count is scaring me. This Viking count is really scaring me. There we go. 1 Colossus goes down. There goes a carrier. No, almost goes a carrier. Yeah, the target firing with those Vikings is great. And just the micro as well. Just barely out of range of the interceptors. Get a blinking forward out of the DTs. DTs are not being scanned here. DTs are not being scanned. And they're not A-moving either, though. They could have dealt quite a bit of damage. Instead, they're just going to die in the retreat, as a bunch of carriers have fallen at this point. 4 of them have gone down. And the Viking count is still high enough to deal with the leftovers. Actually, I think the Viking production is a little bit too high, maybe even right now. Going up to 19 Vikings against just 4 carriers and 1 Colossus. That might be too much supply in Vikings, but rather too many than too little, is what I always say. Because if you have too little, you just straight up die against the carriers. Now have a 6th base on the way. No, a 7th base on the way here for Creator. As once again, Vikings still moving in forward. A couple of Liberators being added into the mix as well. There comes a Disruptor shot. As well as an energy recharge on the Templars, going to allow him to storm twice. Tempest being added into the mix. Okay. We're actually going for a proper late game here. A proper late game. Haven't managed to mine out this little patch yet, and it means that this Rich Vespine geyser is not available yet to the boys. One of the most common ways to deal with a carrier like Templar Force, by the way, is to get a bunch of turrets out on the map. And you set up shop with like high ghost count, decent amount of Vikings, and then you just pump Liberators. And if they attack into it, they need to either attack into the Liberators with their ground force, or they need to attack into the turrets with the air force. And either option is really nice for Terran. So that is usually how Maru used to play. Maru extremely powerful in these types of situations. Like by far the best TVP super late game. Ultra late game. Like when you get in these like carrier Viking situations, I always felt like Maru had just better understanding than anyone else. Even better than Clem in my opinion. As yeah, 1 Lib is just gonna set up shop a little bit further forward. Single Tempest is just trying to force an engagement, but there's not enough damage output. Like, you need so many shots to kill something that these carriers are just gonna be really vulnerable. There we go, Vikings moving in forward once more. We get double storms though. That was really well done as the Prism shoots in like a heat-seeking rocket, a heat-seeking missile, and it's actually going to do a lot of damage against these Vikings. Yes, the Nexus gets taken out, but a lot of damage on these bad boys. Lots and lots of damage on these bad boys. We see a full-in transition, by the way, into Tempest. Would love to see some Oracles into the mix as well here. A couple of DTs are already out. Okay, here come Purification Novas. Can they do anything? The answer is meh, not really. Meh, not really. Level 2 armors coming in as well. Oh, that was a good Purification Nova. Taking out 3 ghosts there. We have a couple more where that came from. Liberator count is a serious bottleneck right now for Cure, by the way. When it comes to pushing forward, having Liberators would be a huge deal. Like 6 to 8 Liberators here. That would be great, absolutely. Vikings need to be repaired as well, so we see Cure trying his best when it comes to that. He has 16, 18 Vikings right now. It's getting vehicle plating level 2 as well. Observer's going to get sniped, and more turrets are on the way as well. A very powerful move, by the way, and something that I think Like, really, I'm once again going to refer to Maru. The way that Maru would play this is he'd have that setup in the middle of the map with like 7, 8 Ghost, 10 turrets, Viking Liberator, and then 4 medevacs with 1 or 2 Ghosts, and then the rest of the bio would just be roaming around the map trying to clear outside bases. And look at the defense on the outside bases. Non-existent. 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 Kind of existent. I mean, this base is safe, but there's 3 bases that are easily killed. Easily killed. And you just hold the middle with the Ghost Viking Liberator. That's kind of the real play. Now we're just even just an 8 Marine drop. Look at this. That's already so annoying to deal with because the Protoss army is extremely immobile. Like, this army blows at defending multiple bases. You need Templar, you need cannons on the side base, but if you don't have them, that's just going to suck. Nice scan here. Cure playing really well, honestly, spotting those DTs walking in. This bunker used to have units in it, but now it's empty. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but it did happen. And I'm honestly starting to get a little bit afraid here for Creator. We have these Marines just kind of walking further forward. It's like, hey, there's another base over here, isn't there? Yep, I can absolutely clear that. I can absolutely clear that. And that is going to be an issue. Now have a DT, there's that Zealot DT Stalker warp in. Still something you need to be very careful of. This is why I love the... Oh, no way! Snipes, like, what is that? Basically every single Disruptor, all of these Tempests going down as well. Good lord, Curious is walking in here and winning the game. Straight up W's for our boy Cure. Oi, 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 oi. That is not what you want whatsoever. That freaking sucks. Holy cow. That freaking sucks. Yeah, Creator in a world of trouble right now. Right side base still very vulnerable. Left side base also extremely vulnerable. Vikings now just showing up. A lot of these units here are just air units. But the Viking count is so solid that it doesn't really matter how many air units you have as the Protoss player here. There's enough. There's just enough Vikings. And these Vikings are going to take the W. The ground force is still holding on though. There's a Colossus in the back. These 2 Tempests actually staying alive. 2 more Tempests showing up. Actually, these Viking numbers are dwindling right now. I thought this was going to be plenty, but maybe not. Ooh, aggressive blinking forward. Tempest in the back, dishing out a lot of damage. We have one more Purification Nova. Can we shoot it? Yes, we can. Is it going to hit anything? No, it won't. But that is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 base, but out of these 7 bases, basically 4 of them are pretty empty. The first 3 are truly gone, and then there's one that's like half gone. This is pretty much dying as well. It's a dying breed. 66 workers to 49. How many orbitals do we have? We have 6 orbitals, 7th one on the way. I think this is actually a serious issue in that you can have such a low worker count as the Terran here, especially if you get this rich Vespine geysers, like both of them going, like you don't need that many workers. They have very good income, both mineral as well as gas. Viking count is actually only at 2 against 5 Tempests currently, so that could be an issue. Mothership is now on the way as well. Creator still in it. Still in it. But is he gonna win it as well? Need to wait and see. Here comes the Stim. Do we have a Storm? No, no Storm. Just a Disruptor. Decent enough split out of Cure. Oh, is it decent enough? Yeah, I think it actually is decent enough. He's going to be cleaning up majority of the ground forces. Tempest still staying alive, though. The Viking count isn't high enough to really contest this. A couple more Stalkers being warped in. 5 Vikings versus 5 Tempest. Upgrades are 2-2 versus 3-2. So slightly favoring the Terran player, but it's not going to be the end of the world here. Gonna get an EMP plus Viking setup. There we go. Viking setup is gonna clear 1 Tempest. 2 Tempests going down. Nice control as we're gonna see a time warp over here, I think. Oh, the Mothership is so freaking tanky, man. That Mothership is so freaking tanky. Nice damage output as well, generally. Gonna get the invisibility here, so we'll force out a couple of scans. A couple of EMPs as well. This Mothership is taking a beating. Stamps are dealing a lot of damage. Love to see some more Stormers being warped in right now. Income in favor, by the way, of Creator. This base not mining is definitely not helping for Cure. And a couple of mules need to be thrown down. There we go. We're just low on gas here. Cure is just low on gas. Not having this rich Vespine geyser is really hurting him. Creator now moving towards the left to try and get a base. We have a factory land on the right side. A Zealot run by here that's going to clear a lot of that potential mineral income. Stalker's now going for the planetary. No, we're just going to go back home. Could have maybe tried committing a little bit further, but decided not to. Templar being moved in. Get a recharge. That's beautiful stuff. Double prism. Stalker count is good. 100 army supplied and 94. Zealots are, well, they're just going to retreat. They're just going to retreat for now. You have a prism on the right side as well. This position is absolutely king here. Just dominating. Mothership in the far back. 350 shields, 38 HP. Can I get a full recall to the right side? The creator does realize that something is happening there. Leaves one stalker in this general area. I still feel like having an oracle here would be great, just to get a tag on this main army. Oh, here we go. Another battle is about to commence. 12 Vikings to 6 Tempest. 6 Ghost versus 2 Disruptors and 1 Templar when it comes to the splash damage. You're just down 30 army supply though, which could be an issue. Flanking factory is not going to be capable of doing a whole lot, except just spotting what's kicking off. 1 Stalker here on the left is also attacking this orbital. I mean, a single Stalker here is just denying a lot of mining too, so it's really something that Cure needs to deal with. I think the lack of army splits that Cure has been doing so far is really starting to cost him. Once again, 3 medevacs towards the left side here would be great. Just clearing those new bases, clearing this base. People often forget that you can EMP a Nexus as well. Like, you EMP the Nexus and the battery, like, there's not going to be a recall anymore. All of a sudden, the recall needs to be here. You can probably just clear this. With triple medevac, hell yeah, it's going to be just fine. But Cure only seems to care about single medevac split-offs. I think that is a mistake. I really do believe that to be a mistake. Gonna finally get a Templar warp in over here. We have an energy recharge available too. That's actually going to be quite useful. Defensively. Stalker's moving in forward, trying to get some clears on these Vikings. Army is behind it. Oh. Still do believe that an Oracle Revelation here would be phenomenal. Prism on the left is going to get spotted. Not sure if Cure will clear it.
Mineral field depleted.
No. Prism just moves away out of vision for now. Finally, +3 attack on the way as well, and 3 more Liberators coming in. You have these constant little trades in the middle as the Tempest shooting from the far back. Salad run by comes in as well. He's just gonna get cleared. Oh. Carrier taking an absolute beating. You need to have these Templar close by at all times. That's just the reality of things. Without Tempest, life is going to be very tricky as this Salad run by is actually powerful. It's dealing quite a bit of damage and more units need to be split away. Stalker's now moving in forward as well. Actually trying to deal some type of damage. We have the Tempest on the high ground. I love the way that Creator has been playing this. Love the way that Creator has been playing this. He expands towards the bottom right once more. Really wants that base. Of course, failed earlier over here while trying to take that. As yeah, this is a big split off. And I'd always say, hey, put at least 1 Ghost in this force, right? Because a single EMP it just benefits your army so much, both against Templar, but also just against the regular Protoss forces. Always want at least 1 Ghost in that mix. Absolutely, as the Tempest count is 7, the Viking count is 10, the Worker count is 32 to 65. Whoa. Tempest almost dies. Disruptor tries its best to hit those Ghosts, but doesn't quite get it. And these Zealots are going to end up getting cleared. We still have a Templar over here, but not sure if that's going to be enough. What's that? Double DT? More units being warped in on the left side, trying to harass. Okay, this is a really nice split off. This is super scary right now. I think if you're a creator, you need to take this very serious. This is why I love these 3 medevac run-bys. This is why I love them. They're so freaking scary to deal with, and instantly we see Creator wanting to push into this position. A couple of turrets here would definitely help. Still believe that this army could maybe do something about this base, especially if a new EMP Ghost gets sent over. Like, this is good damage output, and gateway units just don't deal well with bio in the late game. Like, you're just not winning these direct trades. Protoss needs the splash units. Protoss needs the Tempest, the Colossi, the Templar, the Disruptors, and they ideally are all together and they work in unison. But you can't do that if it's being split off. I think Cure's just being too passive here. Cure's being way too passive here on the left side. Like, he's being outmined, and he should realize that. Like, I'm not sure if Cure finished elementary school, but he's down in bases right now. Like, you can just see it as well. Like, Creator is outmining him by 1 base. Creator is the one that wants to take an extra base. Creator is the one that is denying the bases. Overall, resources lost. Of course it's in favor of Cure. Cure is the Terran player, but Cure needs to do something about this base, or Cure needs to do something about this base. And then he needs to start expanding to something else himself. Like, Cure cannot allow his opponent to be up one base over him this entire time. That is just not allowed. It just ain't. It's the only thing that's keeping Creator in this game. Legitimately the only thing, because when it comes to the trades, I mean, we all know that Terran has the best late game. They just have the most powerful late game armies. Oracle here is going to definitely help out. We have the 7 orbitals still active as well. Oh, here come disruptor shots. Gonna connect with absolutely nothing. Orbital in a bit of trouble, perhaps. Oop. Once again gonna connect with nothing. Cure's doing a good job. Okay, we have a bit of an attack over here. Doesn't seem to be with any medevacs though. There's just a naked attack. I'm not entirely certain about that. More command centers are on the way. Maybe for orbitals, maybe for planetaries. As these stalkers by themselves are honestly trading quite well. Once again, it is Creator who decides to take this top left side base. I mean, it is crazy. It actually is crazy. Wait, has Creator just been up 2 bases this entire time? Am I incapable of counting as well? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So it's up 2 bases mining. And I'm an idiot. And I did finish elementary school. I mean, the resource loss tells the tale, right? If Cure just manages to deny 1 more base, he's fine. Yes, this is the move. No ghost in here, though. So no EMP on the Nexus means that maybe a recall is going to be possible. It's not going to happen, though. This is a huge move because this is the last real mining base for Creator. Creator now is going to be forced to pushing into this, expanding towards the top left. This is the first time we see a serious move out with a decent amount of forces, and all of these bases are just gonna die. Look what Creator's doing at the same time. He's trying to push in, but it takes a long time because you need to clear Liberators, you need to clear turrets, and that just takes time. You can add more turrets to delay this type of move in, and then just move this army back, or continue fighting for all I care. Can go for a full-on base trade. That is the power of the Terran late game, is that you can still split an army. Oh, Cure! Big blunder there, losing 4 ghosts at an instant. Only has 4 remaining right now. Is outmining his opponent. Factor 2. As these units are coming back home, or some of them are getting cleared by DTs. This base is actually in a little bit of trouble. This base is actually in a little bit of trouble right now. 11 SCVs going down. A lot of the Marines and Marauders also falling. Mothership moving in forward. Still have this force in the middle of the map being smacked by these DTs. For whatever reason, Cure isn't quite scanning. Okay, there we go. Finally, we get a scan, but at the same time, Creator is moving in forward. Resources lost is actually moving closer and closer. A bad couple of seconds there for Cure, losing all of those ghosts pretty much for free, and then having to give up that position. Creator's just pushing in. It felt like Creator was dead because he had no more income, but he says, no, I have 1 push in me still. While I'm expanding towards the top left, can you hold my push? And I'm not so sure if the answer is going to be yes. Either way, the game is about to end there, either in favor of Cure or in favor of Creator. Do we have some storms? Can we hit those Vikings? Purification Nova's now coming out. They're going to connect with some of these Marauders as the Tempest in the sky are doing a great job. It is still 7 Tempest against 11 Vikings. And I do believe that Creator is doing it here. He's just pushing this force back. Oracle is not here anymore. That means that you will need vision of the army, you know, the normal way, either with observers or just by them moving into vision range. Stalker's now coming from the side as well. Can he clear maybe a Viking? Yep, he can clear a Viking. Nice control there. Very nice control. Purification Nova boys are moving in forward. Marauders getting sniped by the Tempest. And I think Creator's going in for his final push right now. Good zoning storm. We have another stim that's being activated. Double EMPs. And it honestly blankets that entire army. We still have 1 storm or 2 storm remaining in the back. As, I mean, the Vikings are just dying. That is the issue. The Vikings are just dying. There's 5 Vikings against 7 Tempest. Mothership gets sniped. Purification Nova still flying in. We have zoning storms available to us. We have zoning disruptor shots available to us as well. As, yeah, I think that Cure is actually just dead. Cure never getting the engagement that he wanted. Never getting the bases that he wanted. And look at that. Resources lost now actually going towards even. Cure taps out with a GG. Phenomenal win there out of Creator.